So far, we've looked mainly at, I guess, the admin sides of Canvas, but probably people are more keen to find out about, well, how do we go about teaching using Canvas, and what is it that we actually set up to make this happen. And this is a really quick overview of what I've learnt over the holidays. This isn't intended to be right. This is everything that you need to go away and start developing your courses. It's really just a quick look at what you need to be doing. Most of the work that I've been doing during the holidays has been on my 10 PE course. One thing that wasn't obvious to me when I first started working within my courses is that I actually, it's a good feature because you don't want to put it out there to the community until it's finished, but you actually have to publish your course before it's available to students. On the right of this particular course, you can see that it says it's been published. If I go back into some of my other courses, for example, the research project course, you'll see over here it's saying that it's unpublished, which is good because I haven't done any work on this yet, and I don't want it available to students yet. So at the moment it's unpublished. If I did some work on it and I was wanting to get that work out there and available to students, then I'd have to publish my course before it was available to students. So I just thought that was useful information to be aware of. I think initially I was just working on the assumption that the courses are there, I can see them, so can the students, but you do need to publish them. Now, in terms of how you would go about presenting the information, the first thing I want to talk about is syllabus. So when you go into your course, you'll see a heap of different menu options here. The syllabus, from what I can gather and look at, I think the syllabus is where you'd probably put more general course information. And I guess when I say general course information, you can see here how I've set up the syllabus page for my 10 PE class. So there's a bit of an introduction here about what the course is and what students will be studying within that course. I've got a link here to the course outline for the course. When parents get on board, it'd be great for them to have easy access to the course outline within the syllabus page, so that they know how students are going to be assessed, how their final grades are going to be determined. I've said here for their prac unit stuff, go here, and there's a link to the PowerPoint presentation for the course as well. The PowerPoint presentation, these links, those documents are just sitting in the files for this particular course, and I've created links to them in that way. The other thing I like about the syllabus page is if I scroll down here, you can see that the syllabus page provides me and also the students in my course with a snapshot of details for that particular course. This is saying that on October 26th, that task that I set for them is due there. Probably depending on the type of subject that you're teaching, some people may do 90%. Oh, don't hold me to the percentages, but some people might do a lot of their teaching just from the syllabus page. Now, I know within the research project this year, the way that I used my big campus was to just use something like the syllabus page and to break the syllabus page down into the segments that students were going to be completing over the course of the year. And what you see on the screen here might have been the first thing that they did, as well as some resources, links to resources that they would need to help them out with that particular component, and then beneath that might have been the second thing that they needed to do with links to help them to that. So something like the research project, I still think next year probably a fair bit of the stuff I do would be just from the syllabus page. But other courses and other subjects and learning areas will want to use some of these different aspects here as well, which I'll touch on in a minute as well. I really like the idea of having the syllabus page as my home page. So I've actually made the syllabus page my home page. If you look at the course status over here, you'll see that there's an option to choose your home page. So I selected that and I said that I wanted the home page to be the syllabus. So when students log into my course, they automatically go to the syllabus page, and the home page isn't any different to the syllabus page. So that's something that people may want to consider as well. So the syllabus, a bit of an overview of what the course is about, probably general information, maybe some links to important things, and it lists, and I didn't have to do this down the bottom here, it just automatically happens on the syllabus page for us. Probably the next thing that we'll be talking about, or I'll quickly go through, are modules. I think that the beauty of modules are that they allow you to sort of organise your course within the different units of work that you're going to complete. So you can see here I've been having a bit of a play with creating some modules, and all you see here are the different theory units of work that students complete within this 10 PE course. And at the moment that's all I've done is I've created those particular modules. But what I can do within those modules is I can add the different resources that I want to add within those different modules. So I can add an assignment, a quiz, content, files, discussions, whatever it is, within that little module of work that goes out to the students. So that, I guess, the other positive feature of that is, so students aren't having to go into files and pages and discussions and quizzes all separately. The idea is that they'd come into the modules part, they'd go straight to muscle structure and function, and everything that they need is there. The other really cool thing about modules is that I can lock and unlock different modules as students are needing them. So if students went to this modules page, even though I've created 1, 2, 3, 4 modules here, I might have locked the last 3, because at the moment we're just doing muscle structure and function. So that's all students would see. What I can also do is I can set a prerequisite within my muscle structure and function module. If I was to create a quiz, like an end of unit formative quiz within that muscle structure and function, I can actually set a prerequisite that I need students to achieve a certain grade or mark within that quiz in order to successfully unlock the next module. So I think that it wouldn't necessarily be for the different units, because kids are going to progress to units anyway, but I could see some staff creating different things within Canvas that would use that feature. You know, mastery learning, whatever you want to call it, you need to reach a certain level within one module before you can progress to the next one. So I see that being a feature that people would use a lot as well. You can see down here, this is the actual assignment that I had a bit of a play around with creating. So that assignment fits within this last module or last unit of work. So that's sitting there. If I'd added other resources within the different modules, they would be sitting there as well. And I can obviously change things. I can move between my different modules. I can change the order of my modules. I can share them to Commons. So there's lots of things I can do here. And I think that it's going to be a really good way for us to organise our units of work within Canvas, but also to organise it for students and make it easy for them to know where we're up to, where to look for the information that they need, and also looking at things like formative assessment and moving from one unit to the next successfully. I think that's something that is going to be used really well within Canvas as well. So we've looked at syllabus, we've looked at modules. The last thing I want to touch on briefly is pages. So obviously we can create pages for any reason that we would want to. If we want to provide information or on a particular topic, or an introduction for a particular topic, or if there's a couple of you want to flip the classroom and you want students to go home and watch this particular YouTube clip, then, and that's an introduction for a different unit of work, then you can create a page for that and embed those YouTube clips. So it's just a way of developing our own web pages within Canvas. So I've created a couple of different pages here that I thought the kids might want within this 10 PE course. The first one was just the learning intentions and success criteria for those different modules that you just saw. So the idea of this page is that obviously I direct students to this page when we're starting and finishing each of those units of work, so that they can see what the learning intentions are, what the success criteria are. So this is what I'm wanting you to learn, and if at the end of the unit you can do these three things, then you're going to know that you've been successful with what I've been trying to teach you. So that's a page that I wanted to create. The other page that I wanted to create was just a page to do with the practical aspect of the course. So all I've done here is there's a link here to the practical assessment rubric that we developed within PE this year. So if students have any, questions around how they're being assessed within the different practical units that we do, that they can access that there. And then all I've done here is I've just embedded 3 YouTube videos on the 3 different pracs that we do within the 10 specialist PE course. I've got a badminton singles final from the Olympics. I've got a men's volleyball match from the Olympics, and also a World Cup touch match, Australia v New Zealand, from 2015 World Cup. So if students wanted to see what elite performance was within any of the pracs that we cover, then they can do that here. And it was really easy to do, it was really easy to learn, but I think the idea of pages is that if we want to provide information, reference points for kids, then we can create pages really quickly that sit here within Canvas. If I'm wanting to make those pages more easily available within the modules that I'm developing, I can as well. So one thing that I found interesting was to actually go to Commons and search for the different types of pages that people had put together. And if you're in your mind at the moment you're thinking, well, I can't really see how I'm going to use pages, go to Commons and do a search for pages, because I think you'll find that really interesting about the types of pages that people have put together within Canvas. So I hope that starts to give you at least some ideas on some of the different aspects of information providing for students within Canvas. So syllabus, I get the impression it's sort of where you provide general course information for students. Modules would be where you would organise the different units of work for yourself, but also for students. And pages is where you create internet pages to provide information for students as well. There are some other features obviously here within those courses, and a lot of the terminology you would be familiar with. So obviously you want to put an announcement out there to your course or your group that that's where you do it. You can create assignments here. Again, we will go into how to create assignments at another time, not right at the moment, but you can do it there. If you want to create a discussion within your course, you can do that there. That's your mark book within this course. These are the people enrolled within your course. These are the files, and we've already seen that. You saw the folder within your files, within your account. You can access them here as well. Syllabus we've spoken about. Outcomes, I don't know that we'll spend a lot of time in outcomes, but you can create the outcomes for your course if you want to. I think probably the reason that most people will go into outcomes is because you need to go into outcomes to develop a rubric. So if you're wanting to develop a rubric for a task that you've developed within Canvas, you need to go into outcomes to add a rubric, to create a new rubric. So I think that's probably why most people would go into outcomes, not necessarily to develop outcomes for their course, but to develop a rubric. Quizzes, most people probably use quizzes, or a lot of people would use quizzes within My Big Campus. Same here. different settings for getting kids to collaborate on different things within Canvas as well. So, and we'll do more learning on this at a later point too. One thing that I wasn't sure of when I first started to play around with Canvas was, you can see here how most of these menu items are bold and outcomes and quizzes is grey. If I go into another one of my courses, research project, you'll see a lot of them are actually grey. What the bold options there, they're the ones that are currently available for students. So, for example, the pages here within my I haven't created any pages within my research project course, so that's the reason that pages isn't available for students. I haven't put any files in for my research project, so that's not currently available for students. I haven't created any modules within this particular course, so that's why it's grey. If I have it, the bold has happened and it's available for students and I can view things within there, but I haven't created an assignment, I haven't created any announcements yet. So that's what the bold and grey options here indicate, that the bold is available for students and you've done some work there. The grey isn't, and that was something that I was a little bit confused about as well. So I guess the idea of these 4 videos tonight has been to provide you with a little bit of an overview of Canvas. In terms of rollout, what we're wanting to do is have both Canvas and My Big Campus operating side by side this term, so that the students got an opportunity to transfer across. We've got an opportunity to do the same. There's also an opportunity there to continue using My Big Campus if people want, or to start using Canvas if people want. The idea at the moment is to give students some information on Canvas in week 2 and then in Chapel, and after we do that, make Canvas available for students. There's no point in getting staff to develop stuff in Canvas if they couldn't use it with the students. So that's the plan there. And then obviously from term 1 next year, Canvas is our LMS, and things like students, we would be wanting students to be able to access course materials through Canvas right from start of term 1 next year, and keep track of their assessment within Canvas as well. We probably wouldn't be, at the moment the plan would be to have parents on from the start of semester 2, so there would be a parent information evening towards the end of term 2, so that parents can be on board for the start of semester 2. So there's still a little bit of comfort, a little bit of a comfort zone there in semester 1 next year, even though there's expectations from our students and obviously our own expectations as well about how we use the product to deliver something to our students. The parents won't be involved until semester 2 next year. So I hope that's been useful for you tonight. There's a lot of learning that we've got to do. There's a mountain of learning that I've got to do, but I hope that's helped to give you a bit of a feel for what Canvas is. I'd encourage you just to have a bit of a play, see what it does. Maybe start to use it with some of your classes this term, so that you're ready to hit the ground running next year. So thanks. I'm sure you've all been listening intently, and if you've got any burning questions, feel free to give us a yell. Thanks.